Good afternoon, Mr. Paragas.
Good afternoon.
May I call you Romuald?
Sure.
All right, I'm Catherine. So just to start, would you tell me something about yourself?
Okay, my whole name is Romuald Paragas. I came from the Philippines and I came in Canada in April of 2010 with my family, and I'm like 6 units away from having a Bachelor of Engineering degree in the University of Siquijor. And I plan to continue my study, and while doing that, I'm planning to apply here for Manitoba Hydro as an apprentice for the power electrician program.
Okay. What qualifications do you have now that make you believe you can be successful in this position?
Okay, I've prepared myself, like I've been continuing my studies, taking like blueprint reading. I've also taken a course for the electrical code for Canada. So these courses will prepare me for the power electrician position.
Have you completed those courses?
Yeah, I've completed them all.
Okay. What do you consider to be your greatest strengths?
Well, my greatest strength will be my engineering background and my experience in electronics and manufacturing.
And what about any major weaknesses, any areas you'd like to improve on?
Well, weakness, I would consider it like I am 6 credits away from my bachelor's degree, but that in any way is not a hinder for me to pursue my career here in Canada. So as I mentioned, I'm like studying further, taking additional courses, and eventually I would like to continue my degree here, maybe at Red River College.
Oh, okay. Do you consider yourself a team player?
Yeah, I'm a team player, especially I started like in my previous job. We do have a team meeting wherein if we have problems, I am the first person who would encounter that problem, so I have to raise it up to my superior, and from there we could come up with a team meeting, discuss about it.
So you solve the problems as a team?
We solve a problem as a team, that's right.
I see, great. Can you tell me about a situation where you and a coworker or a manager had some disagreement over something and how you resolved that?
Disagreement, well, it's always part of the environment, like part of the work here. So the way I handle disagreement is not actually like pushing my opinion to him. The way I work is like, okay, let me hear your opinion, let me hear, and then I bring up my opinion. This is how I understand it. So there will be conflicts, but again, in the end, we would agree in some point wherein it's for the better good, right?
Okay.
It's not about you're correct or I'm wrong, but this is for the good of whatever.
So that's very good, thank you. Can you tell me about an instance where you exceeded what was expected of you?
Okay, so there was a point in time wherein we have a project, and that project would require coordination. So coordination kind of thing is not really like stated as part of my job description, but anyways, I have like presented myself that I could coordinate a project as well. So that has been noticed by my superior. So they have given me like an award of excellence because of this coordination or coordinating thing that I have done.
Over and above the requirement. Excellent. What about your worst experience?
My
what
worst?
went really wrong?
Well,
And what did you do and what did you learn
right.
about it?
Maybe the worst, I would say, because you're new to a job or you're new to a particular work. So you will have this somewhat familiarization, right? So at first, I'm kind of slow and I do like make mistakes. But those mistakes, I learn from it. So in due time, I'm like an expert at doing this stuff.
So you took that experience
Right.
to cut back on your... All right. Now, you haven't had much Canadian work experience yet.
Mm-hmm.
Have you any ideas on how you might prove yourself ready for a Canadian workplace?
Well, for work experience, I've done some volunteer work, and it's not directly like a volunteer for an electrical engineering company, but more or less it's a volunteer to meet other people, widen my network, and have an exposure of how the Canadian work experience itself. So yes, as if you would consider Canadian work experience, I have like a volunteer time, enough volunteer time here.
So where do you hope to be 5 years from now?
5 years from now, I hope to have my electrical engineering technology certificate at Red River College. Okay. And I do believe this would help us like move forward for my family and myself.
Well, thank you very much for coming in today. We're reviewing all the candidates in the next week, and we should be in touch with all of them the week after.